Here's a video for Miss Maconochie, who's put in a special request for a video on how to create a form. It's a rainy Thursday afternoon. You'll be able to hear the rain beating down on the conservatory roof. Apologies about that. So we want to do a new form. First of all, you will have gone into your Microsoft 365 where you had an app launcher there, and in the app launcher you'll have selected forms. So this is your area, they are your forms. Here are the forms I've already got. Some of them are quizzes and some of them are forms. So we want to do a new one. Let's create a new form. It's untitled. So first of all, we need to give it a name, and I want this to be a feedback on lessons so far. And the description is going to be for my year 10 CF class lockdown lesson evaluation. I'm now going to add a question. Now, the first thing I want to know is really how much work, do they find the amount of work that I'm giving them is okay? So I'm going to make this into a choice question. So I click choice, and the question is going to be saying to them, amount of work. I'm giving you work which should fill the same amount of time as if we were at school, roughly an hour and 50 minutes per session. How long does it typically take you? So the first option would be it's taking me more than 1 hour 50. It could be that it's taking about 1 hour 50, approximately that time, and then I could add an option which would be less than 1 hour 50. So you can see I've actually copied and pasted this from a document where I'd already prepared it, and it's unhelpfully Control Z, by the way, gets you back to anything you've lost. Control Z is your friend. And then let's go to this one, less than 1 hour 50. Probably would have been quicker just to typed it. There isn't a right answer for this. That's why this is suitable for a form, because there I'm really just saying which is it. So you can see here there isn't an option of right answer or wrong answer. 3 options is enough for me, and I definitely want them to answer that one. I'm going to require that one. Next question, I want to find out really whether they want deadlines. I'm not really sure, is this working for them or not? So again, I'm going to give them options. The question is coming up now. So I've copied and pasted it from something, I've already prepared it. There we are. I'm aware that people are all different situations. I've hesitated giving deadlines for work. What would you prefer? I've decided that I want to give 3 options for this one. So one is going to be that you'd rather having no deadlines at all. I can organise my own work. It could be that you want some indications. So for example, you'd expect to be done within a week. Or it could be actually, I think I need clear deadlines. So we want another option. Let's add option and type that one in. And again, I decide, do I want to require that one? You can see because I put that the previous one was required, it's defaulted, it thinks that I probably do want to require it, which is nice of it. So I'm just going to leave that. And yes, I do want them to answer. And I'm only want one of those. That's why I'm not putting multiple answers, because really it's only logical for them to be able to answer one of those. Just get the spelling right there. Hesitated. Right, so the next one, let's have another question. And again, I want another choice question. And I want to find out whether or not they're really understanding what I'm asking them to do. So I'm going to put in a question about how easy are they finding the instructions for the lesson, where I tell them where the resources are. Look at what happened there. It suggested extremely easy, somewhat easy, neutral, somewhat not easy, extremely not easy. Oh, I don't really like that very much. So if you wanted to do that, just watch. You can do add all and it's done for you. Okay, I'm going to change that though. I would say perhaps extremely easy, somewhat easy. Let's make it quite easy. Yeah, quite easy. I don't like neutral ones because that's on the fence. I actually want to know. So extremely easy, quite easy, Not very easy. Perhaps rather than somewhere not very easy. We should be doing this in French, shouldn't I, really? Pas trop facile. And it could be hard. Now in this one, I'd probably quite like to know why it is that they are finding it hard. That really is genuinely wanting to find out how I can change things. So this time I could add a new one, but this time I could make it text. And I could say something like, if you find, or if you answered not very easy or hard in question 3, please could you say what would improve the situation, or what I could do. Perhaps could you write what I could do to improve the situation for you. So that way you'll find out, actually, is there anything I can do, or is it something which really is impossible? You're seeing how rubbish my typing is here at the moment. Okay, so that's if you answered not very easy or hard in question 3, please could you write what the teacher could do to improve the situation for you. So not everybody is going to answer that, so there we click away on the required, because they can just leave it if they want to. I now want to ask a bit more detail about what sort of instruction they prefer, so I'm going to add a new question. I've decided I'm going to give them a variety of ways in which they can be instructed, and I'd like them to put it in an order. So you can't see that here, you haven't got ranking, but if you click on that little caret at the bottom there, you've got ranking. So now we can put in the question and then you'll be able to rank them. So this is what you can add. I added it earlier so you don't have to watch me type. 5, which form of instruction do you prefer? And it could be a PowerPoint, giving links to resources, a video where if I put the teacher presents, and teacher presents and gives instructions. Could be a folder on SharePoint containing all the resources, and another one could be class note. But we've only just started using this, so I'm not expecting many people to tick that. So that is ranking, and then they will be moving it when they come to do it. The way they do it is like this. You just go there, you can grab those little dots, and then you move it like this and put it in the order that they want it. Okay, it doesn't really matter what order it is for the purposes of this question. Right. Now at the end of every lesson I try to do an evaluation where they can tell me to what extent they feel that they've understood the learning objective for that lesson. But I'm now just going to ask generally whether or not they feel that they're making progress. And it's not necessarily that easy. It's not easy really to say, do you find it hard or difficult? Because I've got a group where their targets range from a target 4 right up to a 9. So obviously some of the work that I set, some people are going to find too easy, some will find too hard. So I'm hoping that this setting it in context is going to get a better informed answer. So the work I'm setting is ensuring we're covering the material we need to do in order to be prepared for GCSE next May. The spiral pattern of language learning means that you've met a lot of the language before, but we're refining the grammar and extending the vocabulary for the topic areas. Obviously, some people may find the work easier, harder than others, but do you feel overall that you're making some progress? And I think that this is going to be a part of me by doing this. It's not just finding out what they think, it's also just, if you like, telling them, well, this is what we could expect, okay? So for example, yes, I'm feeling I'm making quite a lot of progress. Yes, I'm making a little progress. Or perhaps we say some progress. Add option, it could be actually no, not much progress. Four is normally a good amount to have, isn't it? Then sort of making them really think about what they want to say. So no, not much progress. And then add another option, which would be, unfortunately, no progress at all. I think that as a general rule, if anybody has been allowed to make a negative comment, it's good to find out from them if they've got suggestions as to how the situation could be improved. So here, I think the next question could be asking people to give you a comment about what it is that could make things better. So this could be, what is preventing you, for example, from making progress? Is it too easy, too hard? Please suggest what could make the situation better below, and perhaps techniques being used by your other subject areas. And this is bringing in as well that I think it's ever so important that it's the teacher who is setting this. I don't think this would be appropriate for someone who is managing the teacher. I think it's the teacher who should be comfortable about asking this question. And I'm going to say, yeah, I don't mind if they give me quite a long answer on that one, so I would click there for a long answer. And I'm not going to make it required. If they want to tell me that, then they could add that. Now, you may notice that I didn't there say, if you answered no progress, then answer this, and I'll explain why in a minute after we've done the next question. So far, I've been doing what I would normally do in lessons. I've been going through the book, I've been putting in extra things, but I'd be quite interested to know if there's anything else that they'd like me to include. So again, I'm going to make this a text question. I'm going to give them a context to say to them, right, this is my situation at the moment, trying to do these extra things. I've already spotted other teachers doing this, so we're definitely going to do a Quizlet live at some point. But I genuinely want to know, are there any other suggestions they've got for interesting or fun things that I could set you? And again, I'm going to make that a long answer, but I'm not going to make it required. If they don't want to answer that one, then they don't have to do that one. Now, you might have noticed that for this one, I didn't say, if you answered negatively, then answer this, otherwise go on, because I've only just discovered this. If we go back to this question, where they were asked, how much progress do you think you're making? Click on this ellipsis here, and you have the option of something called add branching. Add branching means that we can now say, well, if you answered, yes, you made quite a lot of progress, then I don't want you to do 7, you're going to go on to 8. So I've put question 8. If you said, yes, I made some progress, again, go on to 8. I don't want you to do 7. But if you answered negatively, then I want you to go on to what is preventing you from making progress. There's another negative one, so what is preventing you from making progress? So that makes it much neater, doesn't it, than having to say, and if you said, then do this. Something I found a bit strange, and I have to find out about, is that having done that, I don't find it easy to be able to edit it again, and it seems I always have to press the back arrow to get out of it and to lose that. Anyway, look into that another time. So now we want to add another question after number 8. And here you can see that it seems to be locked into wanting to have a branching question. It assumes, because I've just done a branching question, that I want to do another one. So there I find I have to go back in order to get rid of that, and then go back and press, and then we can start again. So perhaps the lesson for that is to skip branching and just not do it. All right, let's go on to 9. I've got 10 questions altogether. So another question I want to ask about is whether or not they're reading all of the comments that I'm putting to them. So if I put choice, I'm going to tell them, you know, this is how I am feeding back things. So, for example, in my situation, that's what I'm doing every week. My marking is marking a document which they're filling in about their speaking test. So partly I'm just making the point that they should be doing it, and that's the way they're meant to be getting the feedback. So, are you getting this feedback? Let's find out. So it could be, yes, I am doing the booklet and opening the comments that you're giving. It could be, yes, I am doing the booklet, but have not opened the comments. we are. It could be that no, I am, what was it? Are you getting the feedback? Yes, I'm doing the booklet and opening the comments. It could be, if the question is, are you getting the feedback? So yes, I'm doing the booklet. Actually, that's not a very sensible question. Let's delete it, because really the answer would be no, because it's no, I'm not getting the feedback. I am doing the booklet, but I've not read the comments. And then another option would be them being honest with me, but actually, no, I am not doing the booklet. And I'm going to make that a required one, because I really want them to commit to whether or not they're doing the work that I've set them. And then my final question is going to be about the plan that I've got to do more speaking with them, really, live. So I'm going to tell them that there is going to be this opportunity to volunteer to meet in groups on Zoom to practice speaking, and they can tell me if they prefer individual or joint sessions. It's going to be totally up to them, and I can be flexible about regarding slots. So let's see, how likely are you to do this? Option 1, you're very likely to be able to do it. Very likely. The option 2 could be that you're quite likely to do it. Another option, you are not very likely, so that's saying, you know, maybe I could persuade them to do it. You never know. And then let's be absolutely open about it. If someone wants to say, actually, I really don't want to do that, I would not want to do this, but nice, give them an opportunity to say thank you. So I think that has shown you how to do the form. At that point, you can click away. You can look to see what your form looks like. How does it look? Feedback on it so far. Probably I ought to really change that so that it's a bit more meaningful, so that if I do a search I can find it again, but this should lock down lesson evaluation. So amount of work, how long does it take you? I'm saying I've got to answer that one. What about the deadlines? Yep, that's okay. How easy you finding the instructions? That's compulsory. If you've not done that, can you write what the teacher could do to improve? So probably I'll go back there and I'll do the branching. Actually, should I just do that now so we can see if it works? So that's where, for that one, it's going to be, if it's not very hard or hard, you say go to question 4 and the others go to question 5. So extremely easy. Click on branching, add branching. Extremely easy is going to go to, oh look, they've just worked it out already. They know that for those two they're going to go to question 5, and those two they're going to go to question 4. So we can click away from that, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. So here we are. And then that was where the question 4 was. If you answered, could you say what the teacher could do? Form of instruction you prefer. Ah, now that we know it's a ranking one because I set it as a ranking question, but they might not know that that's what I'm meant to be doing. So you see, I'm still hesitating on this. Why is this grade and why can't I do anything about it? It's assuming it's a branching one. Because I've just done a branching, it almost seems to want to do a branching. Let's see, if I press back, that's the only way it seems to be. I can then get out of it and get back to where it was. Okay, so we've learned something there. So which form of instruction do you prefer? Please rank these in order of preference with your favourite, gosh, at the top. There's probably a much more succinct way of doing that, isn't there? Please rank these in order of preference. Your favourite at the top. Good. And click away from there. That looks okay. And did I make that a... Let's make that a compulsory one, because I do want to know that. The work that you'll make, your progress you're making, yeah, I want to make that a required one. Seems to, you know, what it was saying, making that a default required, but it seems when you've made one not required, then you've got to go back and put these. So that we're not requiring because only some people were answering it. Other suggestions for fun things, I don't mind if they don't answer that. I do want to know if they're getting the feedback, and I do want to know what their attitude is towards speaking. So I hope that you've found that helpful. That's created it. I've already given you then, we've already had a tutorial about how you share it, having done that. So it would be exactly the same as with the quiz. You click then on share, and then if you were sharing it just by an email link, a link that you could put in an email, or which you could put in a document, there you are for a link. That's your QR code there if you want it. You could embed it into a web page, or if you click there, it would just start off your email. If you've done a form which you think, oh, I think another teacher could use this one, then you could click a duplicate link, so I would copy that and you'd get that. And if it was something where I wanted to say to someone, I'm in the middle of doing this, what do you think, could you just edit straight onto the document? Then you click on share to collaborate. Okay, so I think that's it. And of course the other thing is that if you wanted to, you could do fancy things about making it have a nice pretty background and that sort of thing. You could have a theme there. All sorts of ways that you can make it look a little bit prettier as well. So let's say that we want to have it with a mauve background for a change. There we are. Right, I hope that that's helpful. Miss Maconochie, bye.